is ready to learn, to get knowledge, put I'm super ready on the chat. I'm super ready. I'm super ready. You know, for every one of you that has been on this call, congratulations. Thank you for taking that time. I'm congratulating you because a lot of people have failed in this space. In fact, we have more people failing in this space. And, you know, the truth is, or I may say the fact is, a lot of people will still fail if they don't realize some of the things that are happening in this space. You know, if you've been in my environment, one of the things you're going to find yourself noticing is I major big in, you know, risk management. Okay. And when we talk about the skill in the area of documentation and risk management, that's one of my major, being a more of a preserved and reserved trader. I factor in that your success in trading is solely and highly connected to your ability to be able to manage resources, your risk ability. Now, a lot of traders, they don't know how to manage. They can learn, but they don't know how to manage risk because why? How well can you manage something you don't own? Okay. And one of the things we're going to be doing over the series is exposing you as much as learning the skill set of trading. There are certain things you will not learn along the skill set of trading because they are not sellable. Even you don't like it. There are truths that when they get exposed to you, one is you're not going to like it. Then another thing is there are really no practical ways of learning them. Okay, so they are scarce. These are scarce knowledge. Okay, because they're not sellable. And these are the things that I've made a decision and a choice in this space to be able to expose. And there are people that are qualified and credible because one is they have time to their advantage. You know, one of the things you're going to realize that is a blessing to you is when you surround yourself with people that have the advantage of time. They've been exposed long enough to know what it is you're doing, what it is they are telling you, what it is they own and they are showing you. You know, the person that I brought on this call that I'll be exposing to you, you know, is a friend, is a brother, is someone that I'm getting to learn. I admire. You know, I'm getting to learn a lot of things. I got exposed to his relationship a couple of years ago, I think 5 years now. And it's been an amazing journey. And he's been a representative of someone I could say, if I say I admire someone, it means the person represents truth. Okay, and has been consistent in truth. You know, many things can go away, but truth will remain. And these are the kind of people that remain based on truth, ethics of what they represent and they stand for. That's a vast, you know, exposure when it comes to not just the trading environment. Now, one of the advantage of you learning to trade, okay, is there are other things in the trading environment that gives you an edge when it comes to the technological aspect, when it comes to the automobile aspect of trading, the automation. You know, this is someone that is big, okay? Many of you, there are certain things I taught you recently. I learned from this guy, this amazing gentleman. You know, not okay. I would say let me use the word. My exposure to most of the conversation we had has prepared me to learn a different way and to project myself to show you guys. Many of you, the last assignment I gave you guys on documentation, how beautiful was it for you to, under a day, 24 hours, to document 100 trades? How many of you would love that? How many of you that changed your perspective? How many of you gained that different level of confidence? You know, I've been in this trading environment. I'll tell people, go document 100 trades or go document, do this strategy, document. People can't. You see them 3 months, they can't, you know. But within just 24 hours, within just one training, I showed you guys how to document 100 trades. And you can see that you improved in your level of confidence. True or true, put 100 if you guys got exposed to that. But that is nothing compared to the kind of knowledge that automation brings into this space that is far even bigger than what I showed you guys. I showed you guys the practical way, the AI way, but it's not automated. But there are actually automated ways of documenting trades, you know, from strategic point. And these are part of the things you guys are going to be learning. This is someone that's very, very good on them. So that's not what we're bringing to you right now. But with all gratitude, you know, with all with all excitement. So this is the first of the call. We're going to be having another one on Sunday. There's no way we would do the two topics that were very, very important. I wish we could do them within the night, but I wouldn't even want you. I want you guys to sleep feeling sorry for yourself tonight because you're about to be beaten. You're about to be hit. This kind of topic that will make you feel like, have I really been trading? What have I been doing? Why come I didn't know all these kind of things? So there's pain in today's knowledge. Everybody put pain on the chat. Beautiful pain. Just put pain. Beautiful pain. Okay. There's pain in today's knowledge, today's exposure. All right. And it's been a privilege and an honor to have, our automation expert, a fellow Forex trader, and someone who's big in this space when it comes to information. Please put in some fire emoji, some gratitude on the chat as I bring my friend, and the facilitator of this amazing topic. It's a beautiful topic. When you hear the topic, it makes you feel, the hidden and painful secret of risk management. It's hidden and it's also painful. So I believe you guys are curious right now. Put some 7 and some fire emoji, some gratitude. I'm grateful, as I bring Mr. Chijoke. Are you there, sir?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Amazingly, yes, I can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Truly grateful for the opportunity to be here. There are faces old and new. Thank you for everything you do in the community. You are a testament to longevity and integrity in an industry that is filled with charlatans. You have stood out as a symbol of hope for many. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and just share some of the things that we know and we've experienced on this journey. So thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. So I'll need to share my screen. Let me. Okay. All right. So please let me know. Where's the chat window? Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. You should see a slide that says risk management in trading. Give me a minute. There's the chart. Awesome. I'll need to put this chart window somewhere that I can see. All right, I think this works. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and kickstart this conversation. Thank you everyone for being here. You've probably heard about risk management before, okay? This is, I guarantee this will be a somewhat different perspective to risk management than you are maybe used to or that you have heard. And in fact, let's kickstart the conversation this way, right? We'll start with one of two questions. When you hear risk management in trading, right, just what are some words that come to mind? Okay, you can just go ahead and put them in the chat. What are some words that come to mind when you hear risk management in trading? Okay. Yeah, managing losses. I like that one. Okay. Anyone else? Anything else? Risk management. So when you hear risk management, what comes to mind? Really? You just okay. Managing your trades, stop losses. Managing your emotion. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So that's many good terms that you've come up with. Okay. And we are going to build on that topic. Risk management is that and a little bit more, if I'll be honest. Okay. But you know what? Let's go ahead and let's move the conversation forward. Okay. So, quick quiz. As a trader, what is your biggest fear? What are you afraid of the most when it comes to trading? What's your biggest fear? So, in the charts, let's see. Losing money, losing money, losing money, losing. Okay. Okay. Everybody is talking about losing money, losing money. Losing money. Okay. Okay. Consistency is slightly different response. Okay. It seems the vast majority of people are worried about losing money. Blowing up your account. Oh, yes, that's the ultimate loss, right? Not being profitable. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Okay. So yes, I mean, all your answers are definitely correct. Okay. If I was going to put a structure around your responses, it will pretty much be what you see on the slide now, right? Every trader's nightmare is after a period of time, you review your performance and you've ended up with more losses than wins, right? This is every trader's nightmare. Now, there's something I said there that is important for you to take away from what I defined, right? There has to be a period of time. Okay? Now, that period of time is going to be based on your expectations coming in. So there are people who expect to become profitable, consistently profitable within a week, right? They want to, starting from not knowing anything, they want to really become very good at trading and they expect to be profitable within a week. Some other people want to be profitable in a couple of weeks, some people a few months, some people based on maybe some things that have happened already to them, they are okay to give this 12 months. Right? But what's common to everybody there is you have a period of time. Okay. And this nightmare is only realized when after that period of time that you define, right? You look at your performance and you're wondering, I ended up with more losses than wins, right? And that's the situation that you don't want. Another way we can say this is if this scale represents your current situation, then you can say that this is something bad that you are looking to avoid. So if we want to define risk management is everything that we do to prevent this picture on this slide from happening. That's really what risk management is. Okay? You want more wins than losses. Now, when I say more wins, I don't mean the number of wins. So if you look at the scale, there's a reason why it's tilting towards losses. It's the dollar value, if you will, of all the losses compared to the dollar value of your wins. When you review that over a period of time, you want the dollar value of your wins to be greater. Okay? Now, if it's this situation shown on this slide, risk management is about preventing this situation from happening. That's what risk management is. Okay. Now, what are the things, the specific things that we can do for risk management? You know, I mean, if you go on YouTube now and you type risk management in trading, you're going to see a lot of things. But if somebody was to give you a comprehensive guide to everything that is required in risk management, what will that picture look like? Okay. So over the next couple of slides, we'll look at the four main categories of risk management. Some of them will start initially looking familiar to you, but I can guarantee you there will be some insights that you will get once we start looking at the next slide. And that next slide really shows the four categories of risk management. So there's four things that we are going to talk about. We're going to talk about risks related to your strategy. Then we'll talk about the risks associated with position sizing. So what's the volume or the lot size that you're using? We'll talk about risks associated with your portfolio. And we'll talk about risks associated with something I call disasters. Every aspect of risk management will fall into one of these four categories. Okay? Every aspect, in my experience with trading, every aspect of risk management comes in one of these four categories. Okay. Now, if we do have time, I'm hoping we'll have some time at the end. I came with a case study, right, to further reinforce the concepts. But let's go ahead. Let's talk through this quickly so that we can get to the case study. Then we can, do some questions and answers at the end. All right. So let's kick this off with your strategy. what are the risks associated with your strategy? So we talked about hidden and painful secrets, right? So for each of these categories of risk management, I will be sharing an important secret, right? Some of you may know them, but do you truly understand what it means? Now, the secret in this case for the strategy is you cannot make money in the long run with a strategy that has no edge. You cannot make money in the long run with a strategy that has no edge. Let me pause here and just sample some opinions. When you say edge, what does that mean to you? A strategy has an edge. What does that mean to you? Okay, let me see some. Let me be sure that I've not lost you in the chats. Let's see. You say your strategy has an edge. What does that mean to you? Okay, some advantage. Okay, okay. Edge, edge. Let's see. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those of you who've provided some responses. And you're right. And an edge is an advantage. Okay. Or something that gives you a chance of winning over a period of time. Okay. So you must add the time component. If it's a situation where the longer you trade, the more money you lose, then that strategy does not have an edge. Okay? Or maybe the strategy does have an edge, but you're not executing it properly. Okay? But the way an edge works, the longer you trade, the greater your chances of being profitable. So what that means is if I have a strategy and I'm going to take my first trade with that strategy, right? The outcome is random. I may win, I may lose. But over a period of time, my results will not be random if my strategy truly has an edge. Okay. Now, there's a lot more to the conversation about an edge, right? Let me just mention this. An edge has three components. Okay. The first component is your knowledge of the market that you are trading. The second component is your knowledge of the system that you are trading. And the third component is your knowledge of yourself. Right? Because you may understand the market, you may understand the systems that you're trading, but if you're personally indisciplined, that edge will not work, right? Because you will end up sabotaging the system. But that's a different conversation. Let's talk about some examples of things that will introduce risks to your strategy. Okay, so the first one, and this is my favorite, is trading a strategy that is not properly tested. Now, when I say a strategy is not properly tested, I mean it is not properly tested by you. So that somebody else tested a strategy and has shared results with you, in my opinion, is not enough for your long-term success. I'll say that again. Now, someone else, your father, your mother, your spouse, your child, your friend, that somebody else tested a strategy and shared the results with you does not mean that you have properly tested the strategy. Okay? So that's one. The second thing that you can do that will introduce risks to your strategy is if you do not monitor the performance of your strategy. Now, it just happens that the market can change characteristics over time, right? So what worked 5 years ago may not work today. Right? And the only way you will know that it is not working is if you are monitoring your strategy's performance. So there are specific metrics, there are specific things that you should be looking at for your strategy on an ongoing basis in order to know that the performance is still working okay. Henry said something really, really important just now. The only way you can monitor is with documentation, right? So you've done a back test, you must document that. You're trading something, you're doing a forward test, you must document your results, right? You must have a reference, documented reference for how well your strategy is performing. If you do not have that, you will not know whether the performance is starting to degrade. Okay. Here's a third thing. trading a complicated strategy with many loose rules. So if you have a strategy that has 20 confirmations, one of the confirmations is that the sun, the moon, and all the planets need to align. Trump needs to win the election. Bitcoin needs to be above $60,000. Then you have all those rules like that before you get into a trade, right? It's very easy for you to forget one of those rules because there's just too many things that you're keeping track of, right? And that can very easily introduce a risk to your trading. Obviously, one way to manage that is if you can automate things, but it's always best to keep your strategy rules simple. I have seen in this space that it is the strategies with really simple rules that last the test of time. Some of these complicated things that we see online, well, we'll come to an example anyway. And then this fourth one, I think, is probably the most important of all the lot here, which is having more trades in your live accounts than in practice, right? I cannot stress how dangerous this practice is. Okay. If we take a lesson from professional athletes, right? So there's the very popular thing you've heard about Usain Bolt, the now retired sprinter. So at each Olympics is every 4 years, people will come out to see this man, really overperform, right, in the sprints. But there was something he said or a quote that is credited to him that he spent 4 years training in order to perform for 9 seconds or for 10 seconds. So all we see his performance, running in the finals of the Olympics. But we are not there when he's going to the gym every day, where he's looking at his diet, where he's working with his coaches on a daily basis. We don't see all that. We don't see all that hard work. All we see is, oh, wow, he won 8 gold medals, right, during his career, from the Olympics. So we see the outcome. The same thing is, we can apply that to trading. Trading is a performance-based mental sport. Right? Trading is a performance-based mental sport. And you cannot have more live trades than trades that you have taken in practice. If you do, there is a problem. There is a really big problem. But anyway, one thing that's in common to these examples that you can use to address your strategy risks is knowing how to properly test and evaluate a strategy. Indeed, the case study that we have will show you some aspects of strategy testing and evaluation. Okay, right, let's move on to what's next. Next thing is your position size. Okay, and so when we talk about position size, this is how many lots you put on any given trade, right? So the secret here is your position size is how you are going to hit or meet your objectives. Okay, so if you are given a specific strategy, right, it's not the strategy itself that will help you meet your objectives. It is your position size. This may sound counterintuitive, but thankfully we will be back on Monday, and instead of me telling you this, I will be showing you how your position size in many cases is more important than your strategy. Your strategy is important, don't get me wrong, okay? But if you've set a target for yourself, for instance, I want to make 25% at the end of 12 months, right? The way you're going to achieve that is with your position size, once you know your strategy, okay? So what are some examples of risky things that people do related to position sizing? Okay, overtrading obviously is a very popular one. So what's overtrading? So you have a system and your system has told you, and you need to take, or rather you have a trading plan, and your trading plan tells you you need to take 1 trade per day. Right? So you wake up, today is Monday, maybe you woke up this morning, you took 1 trade, and the trade started to go in your favor, and then it reversed and hit your stop loss. And then what happened? Now you're angry with the market. You're on a revenge mission. Now you say, you know what? The market took my money away from me. So I'm now going to trade 4 more times so that I can get my money back, you know? And the market is really just happy when you do that, because you've set yourself up to donate all of your capital to the market when you're trading from, you know, unbalanced emotions. So that's over trading, right? Trading more than you should. Over leveraging is slightly different. So maybe your plan has told you, or your plan recommends that you should use 1% of your account. Okay. But then you see this analysis, and the analysis looks like, wow, you know, all the confluences are there, all the reasons to get into this trade are there. You know what? I really think I deserve a vacation. So instead of risking 1% of my account, why don't I risk 10% of my account or 20% of my account? Right? So yes, that would be an example of over leveraging, separate from over trading. Over trading is more about opening more positions than you should. Over leveraging is using a bigger size than you should. This third one is also quite popular, trading without a stop loss. And they are similar. It has some cousins and relations. So an example of what I mean by that is you place a trade, you have your stop loss set, but then the market is coming towards your stop loss, and then you're moving your stop loss away, right? Because you don't want to take that loss. Another symptom of this is if you're trading regularly, right? And you see price coming towards your stop loss, and it feels as if somebody is putting needles in your body as price is coming close to your stop loss. Then that's how you know that there's a potential problem when you feel you're wincing, even though, I mean, there's no, it's just price moving, right? You shouldn't be bothered by the way price is moving if you've done your analysis properly. So these are 3 very common examples: over trading, over leveraging, trading without a stop loss. The cure to all of this is proper position sizing. And like I said, when we're here next on Sunday, by God's grace, I will do a demo that explains what proper position sizing is, because, you know, it's not necessarily clear to everyone that we talk about it soon. Okay. So that's 2 things. So the third one is your portfolio risk. Now, please pay attention. Okay, please pay attention to this one and the next. Right? The first 2 you may have been aware on some level, but we will start talking about things that are maybe a bit unique from this point going forward. So the secret with your portfolio is your chances of long-term success as a trader are low if you trade only one strategy and only one instrument. Okay. Now, you may or may not agree with this statement, and that's fine, right? What I mean, because you go online and there are many people who advocate trade one strategy, trade one pair, focus on one time frame. In my experience, that advice is not useful. Okay. The only way I know that you will survive long term in this game is if you have a portfolio of strategies, multiple strategies. So what are some of the risks that exist in this category? One, obviously, is trading a single strategy on a single market, right? You are asking for trouble, because once the market changes, that strategy is rendered useless. Okay? You would have to adjust it and look for some other one. So trading a single strategy in a single market is a huge risk. Now, maybe you do have multiple strategies, but are all the strategies correlated? Meaning, do the strategies take profits at the same time? Do they hit their stop loss at the same time, even though they are different strategies? I think the real question here is, do you even know how to test whether the strategies you are trading are correlated or not? So I'm talking now about the strategies, you know. So we all know the third point, that markets can be correlated. For instance, if you look at the crypto market now, right? we have a situation where practically all the pairs there are correlated. Practically everything is moving up. Right? That's what I mean by correlation. Everything is moving up together. Okay. But you can also have strategies where the way the strategies work is that they are correlated, and there is a test that you can use to confirm to what degree are your strategies correlated. Okay. So in terms of solutions, how do you deal with these portfolio related risks? One, you need to understand the difference between a trading concept and a trading strategy. They are not the same. So let me give you an example of what that means. An example of a trading concept is trend following, following the trend. Okay, following the trend is not a strategy. It is a trading concept. But you can have strategies that are based on the concept of trend following. There are 1,000,001 strategies based on the concepts of trend following. So if you have any kind of breakout system, that is a trend following system, right? Because you want to go in the direction of the trend. That's why you're doing a breakout. Okay. Or any of the other, there are like 1,000 strategies that are based on trend following. But that's just one concept. Okay. Another example of a trading concept is a bias, something I call a bias. So what do I mean by a bias? Certain markets behave in certain ways, right? And you can take advantage of that behavior. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. If you look at gold, gold has, let me see, how many people on this call? Because I'm about to say something very, very interesting. All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it. Gold has a tendency, gold, the market has a tendency to close up on Fridays. In fact, if you do a test, and I've done this test from 2003 to the end of 2023. So that will be 21 years. So over that 21-year period, this strategy, buying gold on Friday, once Friday opens and closing just before the market close on Friday, has been profitable for all of those 20 years except 2013. So 2013 was the only year that strategy lost money. Okay. So that's an example of a bias, meaning if you have some other kind of analysis technique that tells you to buy gold on Friday, you have an additional confluence that gold tends to close higher on Fridays that you can use to add that to. Now that I've said this, I'm sure there will be at least one person on this call that, wow, I have heard the secret to instant retirement. Today is Monday. All I need to do is wait till Friday morning, put my mortgage, school fees, everything I have, and I'll buy gold on Friday. It will close up, and then I will make money. All right. So let me tell you what happened when I shared this thing with somebody 5 weeks ago. Okay, so I was at the hospital, a friend came to visit, and we're just discussing trading concepts. And then I shared this example, gold. He came to see me on a Thursday when I mentioned this thing. And I put the disclaimer here that this is just an idea, right? You don't need to go and, start trading this thing immediately. The very next day, he saw me on a Thursday. The next day was a Friday. That Friday, gold closed down. It did not close up. The following Friday, gold closed down. And then I got a call. You told me that this thing was profitable now. I said, yes, but you did not ask for the relevant statistics. The win rate over that 21-year period is 56%, which means it doesn't work every Friday, right? But it works about 6 Fridays out of 10. You know that the last 3 Fridays after, so I told him this 5 weeks ago. The last 3 Fridays, including this Friday that just ended, gold closed up on Friday, but he was not trading. right? So that's how emotions can play with you in this game, right? If this thing was simple, everybody would be a millionaire, right? But that's just something to take away. The point really is that concept, that trading concept of a bias is different from technical analysis or chart pattern or whatever else you'll be using as your basis for entering a trade, right? So that's something else that you should think about. So really the gist here for portfolio is you should trade multiple strategies, but each of those strategies should be based on a different trading concept. Okay, you can have strategies based on trend following, strategies based on biases. There are strategies based on, believe it or not, seasonality, right? Like the US stock market, it tends to rally at different points in the year, repeatedly over the last 150 years. Okay, so these are things that you should be aware of in your portfolio. All right, let's look at the last category, which is disasters. This one alone, if this was the only reason that we were gathered here this evening, right, we won't have enough time to deal with this. Okay, the secret here is whatever can go wrong will go wrong and will lead you to financial ruin if you're not prepared. I can't tell you how many times me that I'm talking to you, how many times I have gotten into trouble because I did not follow or I did not pay attention to these things that I have here. So what do I mean by disasters, right? So you can read the chart, you can see different things that can happen. And I know that some of these things will resonate with you because of things that have happened recently. But I ask you the question, if you're trading with a broker and the broker goes bankrupt tomorrow, or you try to log into your trading account tomorrow and you see sites not available, what are you going to do? Okay. Will that lead you to financial ruin? This thing that I'm telling you from experience. So nothing on this slide for me is theory. Everything here has happened to me. Let me just be clear, right? That nothing here is theoretical. Everything has happened. Okay. Or if we talk about government regulations, right? So was it last week that basically people just woke me up? So people who know that, I'm active in trading, I'm active in the crypto space, I can't access my Binance account. Okay, so what was your plan for that scenario? I didn't know I was supposed to have a plan. It's Binance. Binance is all over the world. How can they block access to it? Okay, so now it has happened. What are you going to do? Right? So you need to be aware of that situation before it happens. Or what happens if you have a personal emergency? Maybe it's not you who is ill, or maybe it's somebody who is close to you. Or in my case, I have 3 young children, right? So I've been in a situation where, I'm trading, I walk out of the room, and then my son jumps into the room. Red and green candles, and then he's tapping on the keyboard. Aha. And then you come back and you see that, your child has over traded, has over leveraged your account, and you cannot beat him, right? Because it was all your fault, right? So that's something. Are you prepared for that scenario? Or how about if you are trading and your laptop crashes, or you're trading and there's a problem with the data feed from your broker? If you're trading and the room where you are, there is a flood and you can't access your equipment and you have open trades, what are you going to do? Then you see, I have a whole line about psychological and discipline problems. So that one, we can spend a week talking about things. Fear of missing out, gambling, revenge trading, not having a plan, not following any rules. These are all things that can cause disastrous consequences for your trading, and they can introduce serious risks. And the way to deal with this is you must have a written plan for all of these things ahead of time. So it's not when the government has banned Binance that you'll be looking for what you would do, how you will access your crypto. You must have a plan beforehand. Okay. It's not when your broker suddenly disappears, right, that you will now be asking, oh, what should I have done? Right? You must have a plan beforehand. Okay. So that's what's important here. All right, let's keep going. So what I've really done here is, and I believe, okay, I'll work with Henry to make this slide, at least the slides are available to you. If for nothing else, for this checklist. So what this checklist does is, it's one of the ways to gauge your readiness to trade live, in my opinion, right? So if you take all these different risk categories together, right, you're now answering these questions truthfully. I'm about to take a live trade. You know, have I really taken into account the risks associated with size, the risk associated with strategies, my portfolio, and disasters? Can I really answer true to all of these questions? If you can't, then I hate to break it to you. You are not ready to trade live. You have no business trading live, because just one of these things on this slide is enough, right, to cause complete and total financial ruin if you're not aware of how to deal with these things and how to manage them. Okay. All right, I think the next slide was supposed to be questions, but let me go quickly to the case study, and then once we do the case study, we'll come back and we do the questions. Okay. All right. So this case study is really just 3 slides, and it focuses on one of the risk categories, right? This is strategy risk. So remember, we talked about strategies that are not properly tested, right? And the risk of trading them live. So I've used an actual example. So this equity curve that you see here is from a YouTube video, right? So, I mean, you have, some of you will know JoeFX. JoeFX is one of the popular Forex influencers on YouTube, okay? So a couple of months ago, he put out this video that is titled "The Easiest ICT Silver Bullet Strategy to Pass Your Prop Firm Challenge." Of course, everyone on this call, I'm sure, has heard about prop firms. There are probably 1,000 of them now out there. And the silver bullet strategy, there are many variations of it online. Okay, so this is JoeFX, who was talking about this particular variation of the silver bullet strategy. The rules are not important today, right? We don't have the time to go to the rules. You can go on YouTube, and if you're interested in watching the video, you can watch the video and figure out what the rules are. But just the important metrics, what he was trying to show was that with a strategy, you can make 10% or more per month. And you know, most of these prop firms, their target is for you to make 10%, right? Many of them are unlimited now. So I know he was trying to show that you can make 10% in 30 days. That was the objective of the video. Because he tested this on Euro USD for January 2023 on the 1-minute chart with a starting balance of $100,000, right? And then at the end of January, he made 18%. Okay. Now, this is a really very popular video on YouTube, right? So even though he has fewer than 20,000 subscribers, as at this morning, 127,000 people have watched. Well, there are 127,000 views. Maybe I've watched this thing 500 times, so 127,000 views. And as you can imagine, this is a popular, I mean, everybody wants a strategy that can pass a prop firm challenge, right? Okay. So what he did was he did a back test for the whole month of January. And from his back test, he had 60 trades. And like I said, he made 18% on his back test. So what I did was I went on TradingView and I did, based on the rules, I did my own back test to see whether I could replicate his strategy. So up here, you have his own equity curve and his results on the left. Then down here, you have, this is from TradingView, obviously, my own version and my own results. So if you compare the results I got from TradingView with his results, right, they are quite similar. So he made 18%, I made 14%. So yeah, it's not that big a difference. He had 60 trades, I had 58 trades. He had a win rate of 38%. I had a win rate of about that, 38%. So for the month of January, right, which is what he did on YouTube, our results were very, very similar. But now, I said, okay, so he tested this for January. What if I test this strategy for the whole of 2023, right? Because I mean, I don't want to trade the strategy for 1 month, right? So let's see the performance over 1 year. And this is the performance over 1 year. Yes, so what you're looking at is not a mistake, right? This green part is January, the January that we saw, right? All of this that is red is drawdown up until the end of December. So if you started trading this account with $100,000, by the end of December, you would have ended up in a drawdown of minus 76%. Okay, so you will be left with $24,000 of the 100,000 you started with. This January that he did his backtest for on YouTube was the only month in 2023 that was profitable, right? None of the other months in 2023 was profitable. And remember what I said, this strategy has 127,000 views on YouTube. Okay. The worst thing is if you go ahead and you look at the comments, so I'm not bashing him, right? If you go and look at the comments, you'll see comments like, oh, thank you very much, sir, for this strategy. This strategy is going to change my life. And when I'm reading those comments, I'm like, yeah, this strategy will really change your life, right? It will definitely lead you to financial ruin, right? If you try to trade this, okay? And it may interest you, right, that by the time you take into account spreads and commissions, right, even this month of January was not profitable. Even this month where he showed 18% profit, it was not profitable, right? Because his tests did not include transaction costs. All the spread that you pay, you know, if you're trading with brokers, brokers will charge you commission. Some will charge you as high as $7 per lot, right? The average lot size with this strategy is 60 lots, right? Because you're trading on the 1 minute chart and you have a large balance, $100,000, right? So the average lot size was about 60 lots. With 60 lots, you will easily be paying $300 to $400 commission if you're taking one trade with this system. So again, clearly, even this month of January, where it looks like you were profitable, was not profitable. So this is just one case study out of the 4 that we talked about today. This is just strategy, right? And doing a test for 1 year, in my opinion, is not even enough to evaluate the viability of a strategy. Most of the strategies I trade are tested for a minimum of 10 years so that I can see how they will perform in different market types. Bullish markets, bearish markets, up markets, volatile markets, quiet markets, so that you know how your strategy will perform. And that's just strategy. Okay. When we come back on Sunday, we'll do a similar case study around position size, right? That, you know, will hopefully reinforce how all of the things that we've talked about today. So please just take the time, watch this recording again, because this will very easily save your trading career. Okay. All right. So let me pause here and then see if there's any questions or that you need me to deal with.
If you are not putting something in the chat right now, it seems you have blown your account before. You're not happy. You were a victim of part of the things you learned. So you are still trying to recover from why you didn't know this. So that's why you're not putting something on the chat. So I told you guys something will happen to you. Has something happened to you? Let me know on the chat. I'm just laughing here right now when, he talked about the comments. The truth is something, they say, you go to comment of most of this powerful strategy. 3-minute strategy that can just, change. I made I made $10,000. Man, a lot of people, one of the things I always like to tell you guys is, since we know it's a question and answer, please can you just take this slide down right now so that our heads will be big, so what a lot of people don't know in this trading environment is there are more sales in trading than actual trading in this environment. People just do things to sell because they know that there are a lot of naive and unready minded people who will buy anything just for the purpose of success, just for the purpose of making money. I shared something very powerful with you guys this morning. And if you did not pay attention to what I shared with you this morning, it came from the depth of my heart. A lot of people are in the wrong path to success. If you are subject to money, you are already a failure. All right. If money determines what makes you excited, what makes your decision, what makes you active or inactive, you're already a failure. And before you're going to walk your way back, you have to consider how many years you've walked your way in. So a lot of people are pushing towards a stage of deliverance, but they don't know. You will need years to deliver yourself. Like years. Because sometimes, if God even delivers you, you will not deliver yourself. Because the truth is, God has delivered you. But a lot of people have not delivered themselves because they walked in too hard to actually get out. They don't even know how to get out. So they keep buying things that are unnecessary. How many of you agree with what I'm saying? You see, I can make $10 to $50,000, and you cannot ignore that kind of video. The next thing you will watch it, and you don't understand that what you get exposed to, you buy. Your eye says yes to what you see. True or true, and you buy because why? Every of your emotions is validated that this thing can make me money, and you will just tell yourself that that's big. If people are saying yes, one of the things that this comment section is a scam. There are some comments that, oh goodness, you don't want to be, when you watch, that's why some comment sections are orchestrated to push emotions, but people don't know. By the time you go through, okay, some powerful people are saying yes, okay, so that validates it. Okay, I can go and try it. You're going to try a strategy because you got validated on comment. How many of you, something happened to you when he showed you the power of exposing documentation over a period of time? What happened to you? Before you ask question, that's my question to you. Because this is what I'm big. How many of you know I'm big on documentation? How many of you see the power of documentation in that case study? How many of you saw it touched you? You mean something, it revealed to you something, how powerful, things you ignore about documentation. Because a lot of people go ahead to trade a strategy on their live account that they've not documented because other people have traded and tried it and they've made money and you just felt like, let me go. How many of you saw that? Wow, this is that month. Even him, I promise you, even him do not know what was revealed to you. Maybe he just tried it and man, this was good. Oh, this is good. And the next thing he put, because a lot of people just get things to sell. The moment they see content and they know people can laugh to the content, it's comedy, they just put it out. So they've not tested it through time because they don't care about you. They just want what they can sell. And that is 98% of what is out there. He said, by their fruit you shall know them. Because of the fruit of the knowledge we're exposed to, because of the seed of the knowledge we're exposed to, that is why we have the fruits of the results people are having in trading. Do you agree with me? Okay. So the fruit is telling the knowledge. So what you are gaining access to in trading, which is knowledge, all right, is what is bearing your fruits. Can you agree with me? Put 100 on the chat. So if you have to change your result, what do you need to change? You change what you get exposed to, the knowledge you get exposed to. That is why I'm bringing this type of knowledge to you, because something has changed in you just getting exposed to this simple, just less than 1 hour series that promises another one by Sunday that you are going to pay heavily for. What do you guys think? But I'm just trying to why did I decide to, okay, Kendry, you've come to be someone who's good in trading and good in teaching. What has been your major experience in trading that I would love to change? Pet course. I mean, if you got exposed to pet course, it was a different information of teaching you what trading is about. Because why? If the information you're getting exposed to changes, your result will change. If you agree with me, okay, that is what we're really doing with this kind of gathering. And that is my advice will, before you ask question, make a decision. This is the path I want to go. I want to get serious with truly knowing. And one of the things I can tell you is some of you there's something you felt. How many of you felt like, man, it seems I've been playing with trading from this simple training you got exposed to? How many of you put 10 on the chart? It seems I've been playing with trading. Put 10 on the chart. Because there's some information, I told you there's some information you encounter, it triggers something. Wow, like, because there are certain things he's saying right now, you've never, even if you've heard them, you've never paid attention to them. But I promise you there were some you never heard, because even me, I heard some right now. Even if I knew them, but I didn't factor them in to be a collective, you know. And it just made me, wow, I'm grateful I know what I know. And for some of you, you don't even know anything. I'll be like, wow, I've been sleeping. So every day I wake up and I go trade and I don't know anything. You see why your results are the way they are, you know. So engineer, before they ask you this question, I'm super grateful for what you did to us this night. Thank you for coming out so clean and detailed. I told you, detail, yes, comes in. He's one of the people in this industry that when it comes to documentation, you can run to him. He can document 150 years for you, and he will give you in the evening. Did you hear what I said? He can document 10 years and he will give you in the evening, whether you want it. As long as you want previous, he will give it to you. And you can see, and this is the proof of what a lot of you try to learn things, you don't know what the outcome is. But imagine if I have a strategy that has worked 10 years and I want to learn how I will trade it the next 10 years. I already have a context of what I should do because I know it has worked 10 years. Some of you are trading, just imagine you started your journey in the January of when that guy posted that video. And that was the strategy you made a decision to learn because you want to pass the prof firm. Can you see how poor you ended the year? Frustrated, complaining, jumping from coach to coach, borrowing money. Can you see how the year was bad for you? You know, he said you lost 76%. No, you did not lose 76%. The brokers don't give you 76% because you would have lost more than 100,000 because you would have bought many accounts, hoping that, oh, it was from your FX. It should be good. You know, there's something I'm doing wrong. You'll be trying to find what you did not do wrong. The thing was, what you're trying to find right was already wrong in the first place, but you didn't know. I can go on and on. You guys know that, like, something happened to you, but you didn't know. I'm trying to highlight what happened to you. You know, so thank you very much for showing us this. And I'm looking forward to Wednesday. But let me just give you guys an opportunity to ask whatsoever question you guys think you want to ask right now. And yeah, you can just raise your hand. You know, if your hands are still light enough to be raised, just raise your hand. Let's take the question. But I believe you guys are excited about this training. If you have a question, just say I do or raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you can ask. You know, this kind of training, people really have questions. Let me be very honest with you. People, this is a question you are just dealing with your mind. Like, wow, what just happened to me? So to even have question, you must be someone who's so detailed. And you know, maybe there's another word for it. So Peter Akinwumi. Okay, Peter Akiwumi. They are the kind of question I can suspect the kind of question, and I can tell it, but I won't say it. But the kind of question that will be flowing that someone can easily ask in this kind of way. When you mention something, okay, let me not say it. So let the person ask the question. So it's not like I'm predicting someone here right now. Okay. So Peter Akiwumi, I would give Mike allowance, so I don't have to be the one always. Why are some people still coming into this call by this time? They want to come and ask questions. Hold on. Okay, so Peter Akiwumi, can go ahead and ask a question. Okay, the question is
yes. Thank you, Kendry. My question is this. First, let me thank the presenter, Chijioke, for a nice job. a nice one. I appreciate that. A lot of things were exposed, which I personally don't know of before now. Now, it just gets me thinking, really, if you have spent 20 years, for example, on some strategies that you are using, I begin to wonder if there is really out there any strategy, or sometimes we are told automation, ZAI or whatever program it is, that can really, do trading for anyone. Even the one is learning, if I have to do back testing of 20 years or more for documentation purpose, is there really, whether it is manual or automated strategy that can actually do the wonder that one would need to be able to trade successfully? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. There's a short answer to your question and a long one. The short one can be misleading, so let me just go straight to the long one. Trading is a thinking person's game. Let me start with that. So the hope that you can use a fixed set of rules, right, and trade the market indefinitely, right, and you just keep making profits time and again, right, that is not going to happen. Let me explain why. Let me use an example to illustrate how trading works. So let's say what's the current price of petrol in Nigeria per liter? I think it's what, 60, 600 naira.
Yeah,
What is
NMP
it?
610, 605, other
600.
sell for 600.
Awesome. Okay, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I open a petrol station today and I'm selling petrol at 200 naira. What's going to happen? Initially, nobody is going to come to the station because they'll be like, there is no way that guy is selling petrol, right? Why is he selling petrol at 200? And then even NNPC is selling at 600, okay? Eventually, right, one person is going to be curious enough to come to my petrol station. He will fill up his tank with petrol. He will go. After 1 week, my engine is still working. My mechanic says everything is okay. That petrol will finish. He will come back, buy again at 200 naira, and he will go back home. If he does that for some months, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to start telling his friends, there's a place I buy petrol. It's 200 naira. Eventually, he will start convincing people until the information will spread that, wow, there's a place we can buy petrol for 200 naira. So even if I need to travel, right, and leave my house and go there and buy, right, I'll go and do that. But what's really going to happen? Do you think that situation will remain like that, where one person is selling at 200 and then every other person is selling at 600? No, because I'm going to take a lot of the customers from the other people. So one of the number of things will happen. The government can either come up and say, who is this person? We shut down your petrol station, right? And so that advantage goes away. Or other people somehow will be compelled to reduce their price so that they can win back some of the customers that they have lost, right? So that's how trading works. If there was a mechanical strategy, right, that makes people hundreds of millions of dollars per week, all of us would have figured out what that strategy is by now, and we will all be trading it. But guess what? If we are all trading the strategy, that means there is nobody on the other side of the trade, which means the market will not move. So understand that the market is always going to change over time. So you have mechanical strategies that will work for a period of time, right? I know strategies. I have strategies that have been working consistently for the last 20, 25 years. Yeah, there are strategies like that. Clearly, many, many strategies like that. Does that mean that they are profitable every year? No. Right? They are profitable more times, a lot, like 7 out of 9 years, right, they are profitable. Okay, they are not profitable every year, but they are indeed profitable. But you need to monitor the performance of every strategy that you trade, whether they are mechanical or not, right? You're never going to get to the point where you have, some automated tool that is doing all the trading decisions for you, and you will you will never have to do anything. Take this from somebody who has been writing programs for 25 years, right? So why do I say this? Remember how trading started. There was a point where nobody had computers to trade, right? Now computers have come, but the percentage of profitable traders has not changed. Now we have AI, and I'm telling you, even with AI, the percentage of profitable traders will not change, because all of these things are tools. And remember how I started, trading is a thinking person's game. You have to think, right, and adapt when changes happen, right? And maybe when we talk one of these other series, I will show you how, like the Forex market, how it has changed over time. There was a definite change in the characteristics of the Forex market before 2008. 2008 is when the Forex market became electronic, fully electronic in an efficient way, right? There's a clear change from that. From 2017, the volatility in the Forex market has changed. So many strategies that used to work prior to 2017, from 2017 onwards, they don't work anymore, because the volatility, the daily volatility in the Forex market has reduced significantly for most of the pairs, except maybe yen pairs, which still move. So there's all of those changes that happen. There is never going to be an automated system that will figure everything out for you, that you will never have to think again. Okay.
Mr. Peter, I believe you got an idea to this. And while you are talking here right now, a part of me that used to be someone who doesn't know what I know today, I queried myself, and this is what I came up with. A lot of things you're seeing right now, can I tell you one truth? There are a lot of trade. I could tell you over 80% of the people on this call, they are lost to the information you are giving in the first place. There are a few people who understand the terminologies or the words you say. A lot of people know how to trade, but they don't understand trading, but they know how to trade because they are trading to earn without understanding what trading is all about. So when you're using terms like, I did a back test for 10 years and it was profitable for some, maybe 2 years was not profitable. A part of me querying myself was, what happens to someone who's not in the business for 10 years and in the business for that year, the thing was not profitable? Just like, this case study he gave. A lot of people have short-term goals. So when we say something was not profitable a year, or let's say it was profitable a year, did you factor in that same year, there were months it was not profitable? Okay, so there is 60-40. What if the time, because you're not a documented trader, you're just trading your live account. What if the time you were trading the account was those 40%? And you say, oh, this thing doesn't work, and you jump to another strategy because you say it doesn't work because you're short-term oriented. So there are certain things that while you're saying these things, I want everybody who's here to query themselves, query you and the things you've been doing in trading and say, wow, have I really been deep? Have I considered everything that is put on the table right now? And if you have not, one of the things you should do, a decision, because each knowledge gives you an opportunity for a decision that you'd really want to, before you cast your money and your emotions, all right, out there, you want to really prepare yourself and expose yourself to proper documentation, proper mentorship, proper learning, okay, before you qualify yourself to say, I want to judge my results. Am I making sense? Some of you have judged your result. You've clearly taken yourself out of self-confidence. You think this thing is not working just because you experienced the other side. If you take a strategy, may tell you out of 20 trades, you win 16. What if the first 6 you win 14, okay, which is 60%? What if the first 3 you took, was the bad one? What if the first four? What if I've had scenario where my first 4-5 trades were bad, but there was a strategy I was doing when I was trading binary. Oh, what's one of the strategies? BYOB. Okay, the first scenario I had, okay, was 4 lessons. Okay, then I went ahead to have a win, then another lesson. Then out of 20 trades, I actually won 14. Now imagine someone who was trading for profit taking that type of strategy. I'm just trying to highlight this thing because many people have been caught in the crossfire of it's not working because of results. Am I correct? You have to be honest with me. Every one of you, am I correct? It's not working because of result that you did not clearly scrutinize, that you did not clearly document. You know, on Sunday is going to be a very, very another powerful one because that will get closer. I promise you, they will love Sunday more than today, because today it's like you schooled everybody. You know, and there are certain things you've talked about. They are not even in a position to use this knowledge yet because they've not gotten to that place where they could use disaster. How would someone who's trying to just scale through trading be thinking of disaster? Why should I be planning for something I don't even have yet? Okay. You know, but when you talk about position size, someone wants to learn how to properly calculate risk immediately. So on Sunday's topic is going to be very, very interesting because that is a use case. That's something a lot of you would learn. But I love the fact that we did this one today because it's not going to, for the real people, for the people who really want to go deep in trading and make this be like us, you know, then this should be important to you. There's another question in the chat. I believe you're reading it.
Yes.
I think iPhone. Yeah.
Yes. So the question is it true as professional traders, rather profitable traders, you do face losing streaks? Yeah. The short answer to that is yes. Yes. So if you've tested your strategy, right? So let me say this: if you've tested your strategy properly, you should know the probability, how likely you are to experience, you know, a certain losing streak. So that is if we have one of those series on how to test strategies, I will explain the concepts that are important. Because if you ask the average person, so if you're testing a strategy, what should you look for? The equity curve should be going up and the win rate should be high. Right? Those are grossly inadequate for testing a strategy. In fact, those are probably among the most useless metrics for testing a strategy. Right? There are more important things. What's the average trade? And then the probability of winning and losing streaks. So if I use a coin, for instance, right? So if you ask anybody, a coin is heads and tails. If I throw it up and over a long period of time, what is the percentage of me seeing heads? Everybody on this call will say 50%. But do you know that if I spin that coin 10 times, I can see tails 10 times in a row? So imagine if heads is winning and tails is losing. You can have 10 losses in a row. But there is a probability of that happening that you need to take into account when you're evaluating your strategy. So the fact that it is 50% doesn't mean the first one will be heads, second will be tails, third will be heads. No, you can have tail, 10 times, 20 times in a row. It's probable. The probability is low, but it can happen. So you need to know what that probability is, and it is a function of your win rate and other parameters of your strategy, but we'll come to that later. There's a second question here about if the US dollar affects... Yeah, go ahead.
Before you move to that question speaks directly to me too, and there's a way I can also answer it. There is do you face losing streak? Now, there are a lot of things people don't consider in trading. You may have documented the strategy. You may have walked your way through the probability, but there's something else in trading, which he also, I'm glad that he mentioned it here. I showed you guys during the PET course, which is what your trading psychology, you know, things that would happen to you when certain things happen to you, emotional things, you know, forget it. whether you've documented the trade and you know how to do it over and over again, if those things come into play, there are certain things there are bigger challenges that you will deal with, not with trading. They would happen to you if you're dealing with them in trading. Okay. Like for some of you, you've not managed $100,000 before, and you've been trading with $10,000. Okay. Forget your trading documentation. When you climb up the ladder of equity, there is something else you need to get exposed to learn psychologically. All right. That will not add to your portfolio. If you're not open to learning them and you have the fear of losses, trust me, there's another game plan entirely. You could keep losing, you just keep losing. That's how I lost. When I told you guys about my challenge where I wasn't trading for 9 months in 2019, I was teaching people they were making money, but me, I wasn't trading. You think what was happening to me? Okay, I lost. There was a kind of loss that I lost, and something happened to me, and it was mentioned in a disaster. My wife was sick, and I got into trading. I got emotional. I had losses, a huge loss. Market happened, news happened. So that period, I was messed up, and I was at the verge of losing everything I had. Guess what was happening to me? Forget it. Cambry, who was winning and sending you guys trade. I was losing. I was on a losing streak. Losing streak was my second name. It was a cap I wore. It's like if I take the trade, it's lost. The next thing I see is loss. Okay. Strategy was not playing out. What did I do? How did I solve it? I stepped out, evaluated myself, I dealt with my pain. I allowed time for me to heal. Does that have to do with anything trading? No. I didn't solve it with trading. I knew that there was a problem. I had to heal. I gave myself time. And I'm here today as a mentor and a coach teaching you because I solved that problem. So there are certain things that we get, not just market factor. When it comes to psychology, you grow into them. Okay. Some of you have not managed $1 million. You've not lost. You've never taken a trade and the first debit you had was $10,000. As you took your trade, it was $10,000 you saw. Okay. You don't know how you would feel when you get there. Okay. Just imagine now you've not gotten there. Someone gives you $500,000 to trade, and because you understand a certain strategy, you took $500 to trade, and you practice proper risk management, and you know that for $500,000, okay, it was standard 50 you're supposed to use, but you never factored in that when you click standard 50, the first debit you're going to see, you never thought of it, that it was going to be way more than probably 1,000 something off, probably $4,000. And you will just calculate in your brain what's $4,000. That's about 8 million. It means I just lost 8 million and I have not traded. Then you will know the business you are into. Then you will know that it's not that time. You will not be calculating the lot size you were supposed to make. You'll be thinking, how can this $4,000 come back to me? That is what you'll be trading, and it's a different ball game. You will not understand that there are levels to this thing. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. There are levels to this thing, and everything is based on how well you want to get yourself exposed, learn, experience, and document. Understand. When you experience, you understand. Okay, you practice, you document, you master. It's the process. You never skip this process. It's a continuous thing for life. All right. So I just wanted to add that while we're going to the other question. But are you guys having fun?
Okay. There's a question here. Interesting. If the US dollar affects the local currency value price in an exchange market, does it change the type of strategy that you use? Not necessarily, no. No, so all of your trading is based on the rules that you've tested in different market types, right? So once those market conditions are fulfilled, right, and all your confluences are in place, you take your trade, right? And you really do not care what is happening around you. So remember, there's different styles of trading, right? Some people are comfortable trading intraday. The kind of trading that I do, I don't know if this information will help you or hurt you, is I don't use Forex Factory. I don't look at news, right? Because the positions I hold, some of them I hold them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So I really do not care what is happening in Forex Factory. Forex Factory is useful for you if you're trading a shorter time frame, right? But if you're holding things for days, right? Even these NFP that people jump all over the place, or FOMC, those things, I don't even see the movement on the chart when I trade, right? Because my time scale is bigger. That's what I've chosen. That's what fits me, right? So it's about, once you've done your testing and you understand what you are doing, then basically you just follow it. Whether the exchange rate is changing, or in fact, it's the fact that the exchange rate is changing. That's why we trade, right? Once there is a change, a fluctuation in the exchange, that's how we make money. So we need the exchange rate to to actually change or move for us to profit. We don't want it to stay where it is, right? I guess another way I'll answer your question, and this is something people ask me, so especially people who know me, why haven't you relocated? Why are you still in Nigeria? And I tell them that there is something I learned from working for a multinational for 14 years, right? That multinational would earn in dollars and then pay staff in Naira, right? So that's also like another added motivation for trading. Trading is a skill that allows you to earn in a stronger currency, and then you can spend in a weaker currency. Right? So to your question about, if the US dollar is affecting your local currency, and that's why you're learning how to trade, right? So that you can learn how to earn in that stronger currency, so that you can spend in a weaker currency. So I made the decision to relocate my income, not my family, right? So just something for you to think about. Yeah, if exchange rate is fluctuating, yeah, it's to your advantage. It's to your advantage, as long as you understand what's happening.
A couple of days ago, this just made me laugh now. I was talking to my brother, and he handles projects, he gets money in Naira, and he said the dollar has dropped, and he was very, very excited. He said, that's what we're praying for. I said, who and you is doing that prayer?
Nope.
I say, who and you is doing that prayer? I'm excited when the dollar goes up. Okay. I'm grateful when it goes up. In fact, one of the things, yes, there's a factor of where it affects other things, but that factor does not really affect someone like me, like every other person, because already we've made so much, acquired so much in the dollar value, okay, both in investing, storing, okay. Some of you earn Naira and you store in Naira. There's no advantage. It's like that's double inflation. You earn Naira and you store in Naira. Okay. So for us, we earn in the dollar, we invest in the dollar. So as the exchange increases, we've already made money for storing in dollar, not just changing from dollar to Naira and spending, for storing in dollar. Okay, that's another trading on its own compared to, so we're trading the currency, the Forex market, to make a higher dollar. But another thing is when it is converted, we're also trading and making money from the conversion. So it's a double-edged win when you truly, that's why it's so important when you understand trading. So I'm not among the people that are praying that the dollar should come down. And neither some of you that are here today. It's an advantage. So join the people that do not pray that prayer. We wish the country were, but that's not part of the prayer. Okay. So in fact, the thing is going to, if you hear what is going to tell you about the dollar, all right, some of you, your heart will fail if you're not a Forex trader. Because the dollar is actually going to be over $2,000. Okay. Whether you like it or not. And he can actually tell you why and how. Because before the dollar hit 600, he's been saying, he told me about a conversation where he told the mother, okay, plan for what we're experiencing right now. He's actually told the mother a couple of years ago, so this is the kind of information you guys are getting exposed to. So there are levels to this knowledge, and I just say so. How many of you are happy to be on this call? Let me know in the chat. Is there any other question? Let's leave every other question for Sunday. Is there still any other question? Okay. No, I believe there's no more. Okay, not a question, but okay. No question again. But how many of you are excited you were on this call tonight? So this was a call that was supposed to be suited for the members of Pure Nation. But on the tail hour, I made a decision to slip it out to everyone. Okay? Just to show you what happens within an environment of mentorship. Within an environment of, because some of you, you don't pride yourself in mentorship. You don't pride yourself in community. You don't pride yourself in getting exposed. You think you can find everything online. I want to ask a very, very beautiful question right now. Very, very direct question. Okay? If you've been in this environment for so long and you don't have close mentorship, okay, how many of the things you've learned here tonight that have you found online? Let me know in the chat. You've found online and you've learned them. Anyone? As much as the online, see, can I tell you? You can Google every of this, watch this video again and go to online and ask. These information are out there, but you will never find them. Because the only reason you will see them out there is, so let's say this video now is public. I made it public. And this information is out there. It means if you're not within the circle of this community, you never get exposed to this type of information. Am I correct? And it's because it's a decision that I made. There are certain things you will never learn except to get exposed to some people, some communities. So whilst you are planning to be better in your trading, make the decision. I said something when I started, okay? You have to factor in the information and the informer. Okay? It's not the content you learn. Where does it come from? The seed. So if you're getting seeds from a place where they are free, what fruits do you think? Okay, they're everywhere. Seeds are everywhere. It's common. What kind of fruits are you going to bear? Because why? If it is common, then 99% of people that are exposed, why are they having difficult results? Why is it only 1 to 4%? That is not a common result. It means there is something you are now. The 4% knows that the 96% doesn't. It is only true that you should seek to know what they know. And if you find out they don't go for the free things you go for, okay? They pay dearly for every information. In fact, they screen information because they know that there are certain kind of information that they will get exposed to will destroy the data of who they are. Okay, so I'm just trying to let you guys know. On Sunday, I'm still going to, by the grace of God, I'm still going to open the call. But if I don't say, oh, don't message Kenry, please, where's this call? Hello, did you guys hear me? Say, hey, Kenry, I was expecting this call. No, this was a gift to you, just to teach you something tonight. Okay, that there are things happen, like the call I had this morning. Some of you like, oh, the call I had this morning, if you got exposed to it, it's not a trading call, but some people's life has changed because they are in my corner. They are learning what it takes to become someone like me. And I have every privilege to share that me with them because they qualified for it through their actions. So you can't see me doing some certain things online out there. I'm not a YouTube specialist. I'm not a content creator that when I find something good, I'll go share it freely out there just to gain views. If I wanted to do that, I'll build a very good community, big. And I would make more money than I'm making right now. One thing you guys don't know is content creators make more money than true traders. I hope you guys know that. Content create. There are a lot of traders today that you know as mentors and coaches, they are content creators. In fact, they came into limelight through content creating. Now they've adopted trading and they have courses and a lot of people confuse this space with the real things because why? These people, that's how they grew. So they can give you something for $5 because they grow by the number. They know if 5,000 people buy something for $5,000, done and dusted. They don't have to think of next 5 years. They made all the money for next 5 years just in one sale. So they can give you something for $2, but don't mistake what they are giving you to be your journey. All right, and don't use it to compare to factors or communities that are that I'm not into content creating. And there are a lot of people like me that are not into content creation. Okay. That I will just see one powerful thing, I'll put it out there just for views and make money. I have a YouTube management that pays me every month, sometimes more than once a month. Okay. But I don't do content for YouTube to pay me. If I get a valuable content that is open to other, I don't compromise my values and who I am because of the content I want to give to you. Does that make sense? That makes me me. I can't change me for another person. All right. But I can live for other people through me. So I'm just trying to let you guys know so that, because many of you, I would have closed this call, but there are advices I'm letting out here right now because some of you are not within the circle. You would hear these advices again. But now you've been exposed to this kind of training. And what will be your take home? Let me help that take home by giving you, make a decision that will get you to an environment where you get things like this. That's your first step to success. Okay. If you don't have it, that's the decision you need to start making, not learning more things. Make that decision first. So I hope I'll see you guys on Sunday, depending on how it goes. Sorry. So depending on how it goes, I'm still going to let you guys know. All right. What you guys do with this information. So there's a tax between now and Sunday. I want to see what you guys would do with this information. What messages are you going to send out there? What are your contributions? Like tag what you learned. If I begin to see some of the things I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if I begin to see that this was valuable to you based on the actions you take, the voices the messages you send out there, then I know that, oh, I'm going to open this up for everyone again on Sunday. But if I see that you're here on this call and you did nothing, I didn't see anything, I didn't get a feedback from you, okay, then I know, let me just keep it to the close community. But with that being said, I really want to appreciate, let's give a big thank you to engineer, Mr. Chijo. I don't know, I'm used to the, you know, so Mr. Chijoke here, thank you for giving us your heart and bringing this topic to, in a way that I believe many people got it. You know, many people got the revelation, they got the message. Today, Monday was just so special. It was so special. And thank God we even picked this day. All right. And, you know, the appreciation, I know what it's doing already. The appreciation cannot be underestimated. You know, neither can it be overestimated. It's powerful. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out tonight and just doing what you know how to do best in a more climatic, and this was another level. You know, I've experienced your training, but this one was another level. I missed it anyway, and looking forward for more. How many of you want to see more and more of Mr. Chijoke? Okay, I know you guys will say yes. You like more. All right, you like more, so you say yes. So thank you. And congratulations to all of you. Do well with this information. Let's get a feedback. All right, you can do a short video just in a wow, this was powerful, or a short comment, you know, and you just tag. If you're not following, I think what's your handle on? See, let me give you guys a clue. There are some series that he's doing on both LinkedIn. Are you still doing it on Twitter? It's mostly on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, it's LinkedIn these days.
It's majorly LinkedIn. You want to go connect, all right, and just take a look at this post, this series. You would enjoy it a lot. So you can just drop it. That's okay, but you can just drop your handle.
Okay. Can I share that screen one more time? I had a slide.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll probably make it easier for people. Yeah, so can you see there should be like a QR code or a link, so if you can take it there. Both of them are the same thing. The links to my LinkedIn account.
So if you guys have done it, I think I'm already there before, but just saving QR code because some people are still going to hear me. Hold on. I was snapping to save. Okay. So God bless each and every one of you. It's been a wonderful night. Don't forget, when I give value, I expect value. So what is the value that I expect? Feedback. So that I know if I should bring things like this at this level. Okay, let me get your feedback. What did you learn? What's your take home? How did your mind transform? Okay, if it's a short video you want to do a short video. Okay, and me, I would love you guys to appreciate Pearl Nation. Okay, so if you're not following Pearl Nation on Instagram, just go follow and make sure you tag. As you post, tag. Wow, this was powerful. because something like this can happen to someone. You don't know what thing you do, all right, that would help someone see the right direction. So God bless you. I appreciate every one of you for showing up tonight. Have a beautiful night, and make sure you do what is needful for your success. Bye, everyone. Thank you.